Hi, I'm Ujwal Yelma Reddy. I'm the founder of Interas Labs. It's a Kubernetes engineering company. And Yogesh, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Ujwal. How are you?
Hey, thanks for accepting the invite. I saw your GitHub repo, and I wanted to have a quick, introduction about yourself and also the project that you started. Why don't you take some time to introduce yourself and also about the project that you're working on?
First of all, thanks, Ujwal, taking interest in such small projects. Basically, I have just started. Basically, my name is Yogesh. I live in India, and I am in this DevOps world for more than 5 or 6 years. Earlier, I used to be a Linux admin kind of profile, and for last 3 or 4 years, I'm working in Kubernetes. Currently, I'm working for SSNC company. Uh, there was uh, there was few challenges related to Kubernetes, which we work on day-to-day basis. And there was one moment when I need to clean up some Kubernetes cluster. There was a lot of PVs lying around.
I
And
see.
yeah, the lots of PVs are there, lots of resources such as secret, config map, etc. All those were lying around, and I thought maybe I could clean up the
So
Kubernetes to save the cost.
I see. So the PVs and the PVCs and the secrets were these uh, like the remaining resources of pods and services that
Yes.
were deleted and no longer running on the Kubernetes cluster.
Yes. So
I see.
basically, we had this experiment cluster where we deploy demo cluster when we try it out sometimes, and it's not every day we can clean up all those things. There were other teammates, it's older cluster, and this was the case throughout our all most of the clusters.
I
So
see.
there were lots of resources that are getting lying around because of deployments, etc. And if I want to delete that resource, I have to be 100% sure that it is not used. Because if I deleted something, it's used, then I will be in trouble. So, and I have to, there are like 100 of resource, then I have to go and each and every resource, and I have to check whether it is used or not. If there is a config map, I have to check whether it is mounted on in deployment or not.
I
And it
see.
is very hectic job to find out if a PV is mounted on pod, or if it is a secret is used or config map is used. So I thought there is a automation engineer inside me. So I thought maybe I could automate this.
Right.
I could use a tool, or I could automate, but somehow I didn't find anything. Forget about deleting the resource. I couldn't find a single utility that tell me that this resource is used or not used. So
I
I thought
see.
maybe
I see. So your problem statement was before deleting any resource like a
resource.
PV or a secret, you would like to know what are the resources that are actually
Yes.
using it. So that way
Yes.
you are not deleting something that has been shared by
Sure.
other pod or other service, right?
Yes. So I just, because if I delete some resource which is getting used, then I will be end up in locking, or I will do some harm. So at
Yeah.
least I know some mechanism by which I can tell, like, okay, this resource is used, so I should not delete it.
Right.
Or if resource is not used, so I can be like guarantee, like, okay, yeah, if I delete this resource, it's not used, then it's sure. And in case of something like PVs or uh, other things where it cost money, if you
Right.
set some PVs in AWS, it will cost you money.
Right.
So if I delete those, I will end up saving the AWS cost. That's one advantage of this. So earlier I wrote a small script, and it used to not just find out, but it used to delete the resources for me also.
Right.
But I thought that is a bit a step further, because many times in secrets or in config map, it happen that we can't judge that 100% uh, that this resource is unused. One example is, normally the use of config map or secret is to get mounted on pod, then
Correct.
some people might use that to store something. So in that case, it will be very difficult to decide whether that resource is getting used or not. So I thought maybe we could get rid of deletion part. We'll just keep the part of notification notifying user that, okay, this resource is not used, but it's your your call. You can take it's your call. You can basically say whether I want to delete it or not, and they can manually go and delete it.
Yeah, so
So
you
if
can
I
have an additional check
yes.
before deleting it without an approval process.
Yeah, so it will be like if you have hundreds of resource, and if you run the script, you will get only 5 or 10 resource that's are unused. So it will narrow down your journey. So I don't
Right.
have to search for hundreds resource. I just need to focus on these 5 resource, whether those are good for deletion and or not.
Nice.
And then I took one step further. Earlier it was just a script which will running, so they have to run and as a ad hoc script. So I have added normally most of the people will use Prometheus for alerting, for monitoring. So I have added matrix over there which can be scraped via Prometheus, and you can set a lot of alertings on base of that. So if there is unused resource, I will get an advanced warning in email or Slack or whatever alert manager you have configured. So it can also set alerts that, okay, now you don't have unused resource, but if somebody failed to clean up, then immediately you will get a notification that, okay, this resource is now unused, and you can take action on that moment.
Gotcha. So let's go ahead and see a demo of how you can actually use the program to find out those unused resources. I think it will be interesting to see in a live demo from you.
Yeah, sure. Let me share my screen.
Absolutely.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, so this is called K-test purger. Purger is basically which we use to clean something.
Right.
And we are cleaning Kubernetes purger, so it's just like combining two words.
Nice.
I didn't find any better name than this, so yeah.
I think the name is apt.
Okay, so this is the GitHub repo. This is the main Python script which is running behind the hood and doing everything. Rest are the things which is kind of helping it. So
do
we'll
you
directly
mind kind of explaining what is your algorithm behind behind the purger? Like, what is how are you figuring out what is the resources, what are the resources that are not being used?
Okay, so I have added a selection criteria over here.
Okay.
It will be better if I go with this selection criteria than actual code.
Okay.
So selection criteria is basically how I am selecting if a resource is used or not. There are many ways that one can select it. I found this is a good thing. I don't want to hide it. I just want to express it out for the public. So if anyone has any better opinion, they can say like, okay, this selection criteria is not good. You should use this or that. And so it should grow organically. It's not just my thought process. But this is something I got from 3 years of Kubernetes experience. So, so secret is basically, there are two ways to use a secret. One is like we mounted directly on pod as a volume, and then we will have this environment variable which is created via secret. So if you mounted either of these ways on pod, then it's good. Otherwise, I will say like this secret is unused because it's not getting used anywhere.
Got it.
Similarly,
so because in Kubernetes, a secret can be either mounted or it can be imported as an environment variable. If both of these are not fitting this the criteria, then that means that secret is just lying around.
Yes, that's just lying around. It's using your etcd database. It's not used for that. And same thing with the config map. Config map used same way. Okay. The PVC is only used to mount on pod. Okay, there is no other way we can do it. So PVC is kind of 100% sure if it is not mounted on pod, it is unused. And for service, normally we have this service and we have this label selector by which we have selector which by which it will find the endpoint and it will map to endpoint. So if a service doesn't have endpoint and if you send the data to it, it won't go ahead. So that
Right.
service is useless. That service doesn't serve any purpose if it doesn't have any endpoint attached to it. So that's how we that's how define the service. If there is no pod running on service account, then I will mark those service account as unused service account. There is
So
one issue.
one
Yeah.
quick question with the service account. I know that a service account can be used by multiple pods, or right? Like you can have one service account that
Yes,
can
sir.
be shared
Multiple.
across multiple pods. So
Yes.
the criteria here is that if there's a service account and there is no pod attached to it,
Yes.
that means
Yeah.
that
If
means that
at
service
least, yeah, there should be at least one pod that is using that service account.
makes sense.
If no pod is using that service account, then it will be marked as unused service account. There is an issue raised. I need to work on it. As of now, it's marking all the default service accounts also. I need to eliminate that, but I will be taking care of that in next release. But that's a good thing that people are getting into it and they are saying that, okay, default service account shouldn't be considered over here. And I agree with that. I
Yeah.
didn't thought of it, but yeah. So ingress was kind of tricky. There are again two possibility. If it is used by, if the ingress has a service which is already exists, okay, then it's fine, and that service should have endpoint. So there are two condition and condition. So I have to add like of condition saying that if ingress have a service which doesn't exist, in that case, ingress is sending traffic to no one in behind the scene. So it should be marked as unused. And if it is attached to a service which exists but that doesn't have any endpoint, then again, even if my traffic go till service, it won't reach any endpoint. Then I'm marking those ingress as unused.
Makes sense.
Similarly, for role binding, if there is no one using that role binding, or if that service is not there, services account is not used by any pod,
Okay.
then I'm marking those role binding as like if the role binding is attached to service account which does not exist, or that service account doesn't have any running pod. In that case, that role binding is unused. And for deployment and stateful set, it's simple. If it doesn't have any replica, any pod running,
Yeah.
then unused, it's not used. So these are the selection criteria.
So
I have
I
also
have a
added.
quick question. Sometimes, for whatever reason, if we want to restart a pod or like turn down a pod, right? We sometimes may set the replica set to 0, for a period of time if we are testing something or whatnot. So that is something that it will still give, but then it is on our decision whether we need to remove it or keep it, right?
Yes. And one, okay. Okay. So if you go in deploy, so that's why I have kept the duration as a 1 day. So
Okay.
if you kept it lying around for more than 1 day, then only you will get alert.
I see.
Otherwise, you won't get any alert. So if you are doing something which is for some time, then all those are eliminated. And there is.
Is that configurable? That's a configurable time, right?
Yes.
The day
You
and
can set, yeah, you can set it it's a Prometheus rule. You can customize those rule as you want.
okay.
Those are kind of just dummy rule. How one can add those rule? It's not like it's not you can directly use it in your cluster. You may have to tweak it around a bit for your utilization, because those are the Prometheus rule which are getting used by your cluster. So you will have more idea on how the Prometheus is deployed. It's not necessarily you will have this Prometheus operator. If the Prometheus operator is not there, then you will have some different ways to configure the Prometheus rule.
Yeah.
Okay. And there is also a kind of exclusion which I have added it. So all the object present in kube system or kube, okay, kube public, those are excluded by nature because I don't want to touch anything which is related to Kubernetes operating system or kube system.
Yeah.
And for secrets, there are two type of secret. One are token and one are TLS certificate. Many people store this TLS certificate which got mount on Ingress. Those secret doesn't go mount on pod or
Right.
tokens are used by service account to get it. So to avoid false positive of those things, I am excluding those already.
Okay. Makes sense.
So those are a selection criteria for installation. There are two ways basically we can install it. One is running from shell. So this is very quick and a quick way to get it. So this is my cluster I have created in EKS. It's a dummy cluster. It doesn't do anything. What I have to do, I have to just download my repo. This is my repo KTest Purger. This is my KTest Purger script. You have to say Python 3. Oh, sorry. Okay.
You need to give execute permission to your Python.
I have already provided that.
Okay.
So this is, I guess, I have copied out the rule. So, but now it started running.
So how do you pass the kubeconfig to the script?
Okay. So by default, it will take your kubeconfig, which is already running inside your shell. So by default, it will read from your kubeconfig environment variable or something that you put into config folder.
Okay. So if there are multiple clusters or multiple kubeconfig,
you have to change the environment variable kubeconfig.
Okay.
So if you have like okay, well here it's not there. Okay, over here it will be in cat kube. Sorry, kube config. So you have to define, whatever you have to use, you can put it. This is how it is. I have configured it, but you can change into this config file, or you have to map as a kube config. And this script will read it from there when you are running this way. Okay, when you are running on local local setup, you can do it. And one more thing you have to do it before that. I am using Kubernetes API behind the scene, so you have to install this Kubernetes Python library. So actually, I am not directly interacting with Kubernetes. If you go in script, it won't take much time. So if you see over here, API response. So what I'm doing, I'm just calling the Python library, which will call the Kubernetes API for me, and it will give us output. So this is how I will interact. So I will require this Kubernetes Python library behind the scene. Okay. And that was first way. So all this modification, if you see over here, it will take some time to get. It will scan all the pods running inside your Kubernetes cluster. So if you have more number of pods, it will take some time. If you have currently, I don't have much resources in my cluster, so it took some less time. So it will say like secret config map, and these are some dummy thing I have created to get some output. Otherwise, this is brand new cluster. It doesn't have much thing.
Got it.
But like I said, so this service accounts basically default is getting mounted. So I need to get rid of it, but I don't have anything. So so let's create something. kubectl apply -f deploy. I have created one unused resource. I will show you. So there are two unused resources I'm creating as of now: deployment with 0 replica and stateful set with 0 replica.
Okay.
just to show you. So now it is created. If I run this script again, so earlier I don't have any unused deployment or unused stateful set. If everything goes wrong, right, then we should see those names over there. See, now we have one extra deployment, which is just now I have created Nginx deployment, and one extra stateful set, which is web, which is just now I have created over here.
Got it. Got it.
So this is one way you can run it on your ad hoc basis as on you want. Whenever you want to run it, you can run it, and you can go through output on yourself, and pretty much it is. The second way, should I go continue with second way?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So second way required some input from your side. So I will just show you the setup that I have done it for this demo.
Okay.
So I have installed the Prometheus operator. The Prometheus operator is required to scrape the values. I have installed the Prometheus operator, the alert manager, the Grafana dashboard. So if you go over here, you can see this is my Prometheus operator, Prometheus UI. And as of now, if I say, it's basically showing the older one, I guess. But if I say it doesn't report any unused resource as of now, because I haven't anything running, as a KTest purger is not running inside the cluster. So it's giving me empty output. The second part is alert manager. There are no alert as of now, because I don't have any alert to show in system. And I have hooked this alert manager with my Slack account. This is my Slack account. And if you see, it's showing this watchdog kind of dummy alerts, one dummy alert, which is showing. So as of now, there is no alerts in it. Okay, I forgot to add one second. Sorry. I need to add Grafana also. So this is my Grafana dashboard. So this is my Grafana dashboard, and I think I have added a KTest purger. Let's see. No, it's not there. So we will add it later on, and we'll see. So you required a Prometheus to scrape the matrix. You required an alert manager to throw the alerts, and Grafana, it will show you the nice way. We'll come to this later. And Slack is something you can take it and you can for notification. So the second is just, I have this deployment. I've created this manifest.yaml. It will consist of everything. There is a deployment over there. The service is there, service account, and there is a cluster role. But if you look into it, I am just asking for 3 permissions. So I'm being nice boy over here. I'm just asking get list and watch, which are the minimum permissions.
Harmless permissions.
Yeah, which are the harmless permissions. So you don't have to worry about if this pod is going to do something to your cluster or those kind of stuff. Okay. I'm creating service account for myself. So let's hit it. It's manifest. So now it is.
So it runs as a, so you're running it as a Docker container?
Yes. So now it is started running as a container.
Yeah.
Okay. So what it will do, we have time because it will take some time to get this data. So I have set a 15 minutes interval. So I don't want to bombard the Kubernetes cluster with continuously running behind the scene. So I have set a refresh interval of 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes, it will go in Kubernetes cluster and it will check if the resource are, there is unused resource or not, and it will send it to Prometheus. So
Yeah,
you can
and
definitely customize this as per your requirement. Somebody will say like, okay, I don't require a 15 minutes. I can
yes,
set like 1 hour. So
yeah, or
you can,
even 5 hours, because it's not going.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not something that will cause immediate harm unless
yes.
your cluster is running thousands of resources, right?
Yeah, so definitely you can go and customize this is in second, and let's see if our matrices are appearing in Prometheus. It's not. Just wait for some time.
So the K8 unused resource is a Prometheus.
So the yes, so these are the Prometheus series. I will show you. There was one issue raised. So see, this will how it will look. So KTS unused. I can show you if even as of now. It's CTL. Okay, no? I need to get the port 8000. See, I am now inside this Kubernetes KTS Furger pod, and if you see, I just curl that endpoint, which will be Prometheus in scraping, and it's already started and it's already exposing matrix. It's just matter of time for Prometheus to scrape this matrix.
Right.
What it will do, it will all the resources are I'm sending in one series, Prometheus series it's called. And over here, what I'm saying the name of the resource which is unused, on which namespace I found it. I found it in monitoring, and what is the type of it. So the
Okay.
type can be secret, config maps, or if you go over here, it's a deployment or
Deployment.
stateful state. So let's see, it's
Probably it will wait 15 minutes, right?
no, it is won't. One second. If I'm not sure if I have added a prod monitor. Let's so pod monitor is basically this. Okay, yeah, it was not there. So pod monitor, what it will do, this will tell Prometheus operator to scrape the pod. So if your Prometheus is created in different way, it like if you are not using Prometheus operator, you are using some different kind of technique, then
Okay.
it will be different. It's not something related to KTS purger. It's related to Prometheus scrapping the KTS purger. There
Right.
is one more way to do it. It's this one. So it's totally depend on how your Prometheus you have deployed. So basically you have to tell, okay, go in pod and scrap it. You have to tell Prometheus to scrap it.
Because
From
some people deploy Prometheus as operator.
yes,
It's like some people deploy it as a federated
yes.
deployment.
So yeah, so it's on you how to configure it. I have already added up annotations over here saying that Prometheus should scrape this pod and what is the port number, what are the matrix type. But you have to tell yourself how to, you have to tell your Prometheus to scrape it.
Okay.
So let's see if, see that pod monitor I have deleted somehow, but now that pod monitor is there, it's scraping this matrix, and all those matrix you have seen on the cluster, it's over here, and the alerts are there. So this the alert which I have shown in you deploy. It just I tweaked those alerts to deploy it. I don't want to wait for one day to get the alerts. because for the demo, I changed those alert for 1 minute. So
Okay.
what it will do, it will wait for a minute and see if those pods are there. It will start throwing the alerts.
Okay.
Hopefully, okay, it's not yet 1 minute. So, and but it has captured those alerts and it is saying that alert is pending. Meanwhile, what we'll do, we'll
So
add
we'll
the,
see this in Slack, right? Based on your
yes, we will see this Slack. So meanwhile, we are waiting. What we will do, we'll add this dashboard into Grafana. I just copied pasted from there. And if you see over here, it's already getting data from Matrix. It won't have to wait for anything. It will just start it. So you can
Nice.
see across like all the uh, uh, unused resource over here. And if you go and drill down, you can say like when it started. So there was one question like, I want to know when that unused resource was started or created. So this is how you can get it. You have to run it inside continuously. And you can see like, okay, at this moment, this unused resource are created. So for us, this is when I have installed the K8s Purger. But if some PV will be there in future, which is created, so I will know, okay, at this moment, this unused PV will be created.
So you cannot probably know if you have installed the K8s Purger um, like recently on an older cluster that has unused
Yes,
resources, right?
can tell because at this moment, if you see, at this moment, entire things are started.
Started
So this is
because
the
the
point.
time is
Yeah,
dependent on when the K8s Purger is running.
yes. So this is when Prometheus started scrapping the K8s Purger.
Right.
So now we have passed 1 minute, and if you see, alert was on pending. Now it is firing. If I go in alert manager, there was no alerts, and now we have so many alerts are there.
Right.
And if I go in my Slack, now I have so many alerts are there.
Right.
And these alerts are totally customizable. It's not something that you have to use it this way. You can change everything about this Prometheus rule. These are basically a guideline how one can set up the alerts. So you can say like, okay, I don't want to have for zero. If there is a one resource, I don't want to alert for that. If it's crossed through a threshold of 5 or 6, it's on you. If I want it is particularly present on some namespace, like if I don't want alert for monitoring namespace, I can say that in my Prometheus alert, it will ignore this monitoring namespace. Or I don't want alert for some XYZ resource. You can set that in your Prometheus alert, but the flow will be like this. uh, Prometheus will scrape it and it will throw the alerts to the alert manager. Alert manager will catch, and Slack is basically you will get a notification on your phone or something. You don't have to go in alert manager or in Prometheus to check. You
Right.
can change the Slack to email
Email
or
or yeah, whatever.
anything you want. So this will be kind of normally if it is run on 1 day, after 1 day passed, you will get an alert saying one alert per day saying that, okay, now you have this unused resource. And you can go in Grafana and you can say like, okay, my PV has been increased. So I can go over here and say, okay, this PV has created. And I can drill down to the cluster and saying that, okay, is this unused? And then I can take action on based on that.
Nice. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. I think I really like it. It's very useful for housekeeping.
Yeah.
And I think it has a scope to grow as well as to add more features like um, more metrics to the purger, like what are some of the resources that were deleted in the last month as a view, or things like that, if we are able to store the data somewhere, you know
Yeah.
as but as you have the community around you right now, I think people will
Yeah.
contribute more. But it's a very nice implementation that covers all the bases.
Yeah. So it was basically started as a small projects, and I didn't do any, like, I just posted it in Reddit and people like it and they took it forward. There are so many issue raised. I have cleared those, and they have requested for feature which I think justify it, and I have added those over here. So uh, it is growing organically. It's so that's the main thing.
No, definitely, it's a very smart project. And how long ago you started this project, uh, Yogesh?
Um, so I have started like 6 months ago, but it was just one script, and eventually, of course, we don't get dedicated time. It's just a weekend that I used to get to work on it. Uh, so to get over here, it took like 3 or 4 months. I don't actively work on this unless somebody raise a issue. If somebody requested a feature, then I will like, okay, yeah, this feature is right, or this issue is really there, then I work on that on weekend to weekend basis. And
Nice.
there was two more contributors. There was bug fixes which they have gone to the code and they have said that okay, this was a fix, and they have raised a MR for that, and I really like that thing. It's not just me, one person that is working on. People are liking it and they are contributing it to it. So
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you very much for your time, Yogesh, um, for showing the demo, and I hope the project gets more traction as well as more people get to use the project and you know keep a good house cleaning, keeping about the resources and other services in Kubernetes.
yeah, thanks. And this is kind of one of the project I have tried to find it something like that, but I didn't find anything along the line, because it's not easy to find unused resource. Like if you see the selection criteria, there are a lot of things involved over there. So hopefully we'll see such projects, or these projects grow in future, because housekeeping is kind of important factor considering your performance of the cluster or your cost that we want to keep it on minimum basis. So
No, absolutely, I agree with you. Housekeeping is one of the very important factors, especially if you're running large workloads,
yes,
multi-cluster environments, or when you're running these kind of big workloads, there will always be resources that are unused, and which can cause security vulnerabilities, which can cause
yes,
cost implications, which can cause, like you said,
performance
um,
issue.
performance issues, as you said. So I think it's a very important contribution. And thank you very much for your time. And
Yeah,
I wish
Hap-
you all the luck in the future.
and thanks to Joel for scheduling this. Otherwise, I wanted to record a demo, but thanks to Joel for doing this, and thanks for taking in look into my projects and encouraging me to make a demo to state out a word that there is something like this is available. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure. Thank you, Yogesh.